Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Evolution Podcast. I'm your host, Terrance Johnson. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Before I get started, I just want to thank everyone for all the support on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. The followers and subscribers, it's just gone super fantastic. So what else can I say but thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I had no expectations when I first started this, but from all the feedback and what's been happening, it seems to be going very, very well. I couldn't do it without you. So, hey, thank you so very much. Now, what are we going to talk about today? Well, in this podcast, we talk about a variety of topics. And today I want to talk about something as it goes for your well-being and your relationships. I've been married now for 28 years. I've been with my wife 30 years. And a lot of times people ask us, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, how have you guys been able to weather 30 years of a relationship, a 28-year marriage? And I often tell people, I think the answer that I give them is rather surprising, but nevertheless, I believe it to be true. Now listen carefully when I tell you this. Love will not keep you married. I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but love itself will not keep you married. There are a lot of other factors that are going to play a part in that. And what I often tell people is forgiveness. And we forgive each other because we love each other. So it is not just the forgiveness and the love aspect of it, but the respect, the communication, all these things that are necessary in order for you to have a productive, long-term, healthy, and viable relationship. So listen, one of the things I want you to focus on is forgiving those who have harmed you. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying it's a walk in the park. However, I do believe that it is absolutely necessary in order for you to move on with your life in a very healthy manner. As it pertains to your family, your colleagues, your friends, all of us at some particular point in time in life are going through something that is inevitable. Life is nothing but a series of tests and challenges that each day we must face. However, you do have a choice in how you respond to those challenges, how you respond to adversity. By no means am I a master of it. I don't want to give you that impression, but I have learned in my 55 years of existing upon this planet that there's always a way to solve whatever it is that you're dealing with. And the first thing you want to focus on is your mindset. I hear that term used often in society, change your mindset, change your mindset. But if you really look at the definition of mindset, if your mind is truly set upon any one in particular thing, then ultimately what you're going to have to do is be immovable. And what I mean by that, we must be fluid, but if our mind is set for a particular goal, for a challenge, whatever it is you're wanting to do, then nothing should sway you from that. And a lot of times, unfortunately, through our own fears and insecurity, we let doubt, indecisiveness, and these things creep into our conscious and subconscious mind, and we find ourselves, if you will, repeating the process. Do you know you don't have to beg God or the universe for anything? Do you know that you are divine in your own right? That's why you exist. In a sense, you are God. Most people don't truly understand this. For so many different religions and religious beliefs, I have many mentors from all walks of life, or mentees, and all of them have different belief systems. And I try to respect each and every one of them, but there is a common thread that I find that all of them have in common, and it is the word belief. And most importantly, what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about your life? Do you think you were born just to work and pay bills your entire life for 30 years? Those days are gone where you're going to work a job 30 years and there's a retirement and a pension. The world itself has changed. The deal is, are you changing with it? And not only that, what are you changing into? I highly encourage you to evaluate yourself, evaluate your life, evaluate where you are, and if you're not where you want to be, you have the power to change it. Now, is it simple? Well, the fact of the matter is, it is as simple as you are willing to change. As you are willing to change. You do not have to beg God or beg the universe for anything. I want you to get into the mindset of calling that what you desire to you. And once you call it to you, here's the operative word. You must believe that you have received it. You must believe that it is real. It is the belief that makes it real. I often talk to my mentees about believing because everyone say they believe in something. But here's a question that I have for all of you. What does believing actually look like? What does it mean to truly believe in something? And then I want you to embrace the ideology to move from believing to knowing. Let me give you an example. If I ask you, do you believe your mom loves you, or do you know that your mom loves you? Each of you would say, I know my mother loves me. Hopefully you would say that, or I know my wife loves me. When you know something, it leaves no ambiguity. There's no gray area. It's without question. But you can believe something and it might not be true. So I want you to believe, but understanding it is believing that brings you to knowing. And when you know something, it requires no belief. It is a matter of fact. So I want you to know that you're going to be successful. I want you to know that you can do whatever it is that you truly set your mind, heart, and intentions to. Many people call it manifestation. Some call it miracles. There are a variety of names that we give it. That's one thing interesting about the English language. One word can mean so many different things. But the fact still remains, nevertheless, that you have the ability to change your life. Now, Mr. Johnson, how do I do that? Well, the first thing you're going to have to do is to get your mind right. Now, what do I mean by that? If you fill your mind with unproductive material, stuff that is not elevating you in any way, be it spiritually, financially, physically, whatever the case might be, what you put in is what you're going to get out. So you need to start taking inventory. How are you spending your time? And if what you're spending your time on, what are you doing with it? Are you reading? Are you educating yourself? Are you around a good group of people who have positive energy and want to see you do well? Are you around friends that truly have your best intention at heart? Not someone just sitting around and you're just shooting the breeze and you can't learn nothing from him or her. You can't teach them nothing. What are you going to gain from that? You must look at your life in a sense like a stock. You should be continuously investing in yourself, investing continuously in your intellect, investing in your physical well-being, investing in your spiritual development. These things are absolutely quintessential for your overall development as a human being. Do not waste time wasting time. Time is the one thing you cannot make more of. You can always make more money. You can form new friendships, but you cannot make more time. And unfortunately, it's one of the assets that we waste the most. All of these things are going to play a part in who you become. I know a lot of us are dealing with hurt and pain. And believe me, I did not grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. Share a little bit about myself. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, and I grew up in poverty, for lack of a better term. There were a lot of issues, drugs, and everything you could possibly imagine that what was happening. But through it all, I realized that it was really up to me what I would decide to do with my life. And I want to just encourage all of you who are listening to me, because I know there are a great group of people out here that are going to go through this. Do not let society sway you from being who you are. Do not let your friends, if you speak well or if you're serious about your education or anything to that nature, do not let these individuals sway you from living your best life. I often find that peer pressure is a very, very strong force with people. People dumb themselves down just to fit in with other people. People don't speak a certain way because they don't want to be ridiculed or teased and things of that nature. Hey, if you are a poet and you like to write, by all means use your God-given gift. If you're a musician and you like to play music, even if no one gets it, by all means play your music. If you're a writer or finance, whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you're excited about doing, I highly encourage you to do just that. Understand the one basic principle, ladies and gentlemen, it is your life. If you were to look at your life like an hourglass, you would realize that the day you were born, it was turned over. And my friends, you are running out of time. I want you to really understand that. No one considers death until it's right upon them. No one really considers the tragedy of life until it's right dead smack in front of your face. What I want you to be is a little bit proactive and not take that approach. I want you to wake up tomorrow, whatever it is. Number one, forgive yourself. If you are carrying baggage, luggage, things you might have done wrong, you're putting yourself on a guilt trip, whatever, you dropped out of school, I had a child early, I got divorced, whatever it might be, I filed bankruptcy or whatever, forgive yourself. After you forgive yourself, I want you to get out a pen and paper, or you can use it on your phone, and I want you to write down some goals and things that you would want to do to move your life forward. And I want to make a suggestion to you. Once you have this list, don't share it with anyone. Don't tell it to people, whether you understand this or not. Even though everyone wants to be happy, a lot of people don't enjoy seeing others being happy. So you want to be very careful about who you share your most intimate thoughts with, because believe it or not, there are external forces at work. Now listen, I'm going to give you some advice here, and I hope you take it. Whatever it is you want, ask for it. Ask. You must ask. And once you ask for it, believe that you have received it. This is very, very important. Many people have very, very different religious beliefs and things of that nature, but I want you to understand that what you ask for is for you. Now here's the hard part, patience. Most of us will struggle with this. Myself, I want everything done yesterday. Believe me, I want it done yesterday. But you know what? Let patience have its perfect work. There is a reason that time, as we perceive time to be, exists. And believe it or not, it is not to harm you, but to benefit you. Give yourself time to grow. Don't beat yourself up, build yourself up. Don't put yourself down. Don't be so self-critical of yourself or of others. Remember, for the same measure you judge is measured back to you. So, with that being said, I want you to wake up today with gratitude, being grateful, look around. Listen, if you have food, clothing, shelter, transportation, you are richer than 3/4 of the world. Whether you believe that or not, you are richer than 3/4 of the population that exists on this planet. Now, of course, things could be better. I'm not oblivious to that. But nevertheless, the fact of the matter remains, the fact still remains that if you have these basic essentials, I want you to think about hope, faith, perseverance, persistence, determination, being decisive. In other words, I want you to start walking in the way that you want to live. I stated earlier, what does believing look like? Well, if you want something in your life, unfortunately, many people have the mindset, show me and I'll believe you. You know, if you tell people something, if you show it to me, I'll believe you. But that's not the way God and the universe works. God and the universe works in this capacity. Believe me and I'll show you. That's how that works. I want you to say this to you again. Believe, then it becomes real to you, and move from believing to knowing. And most importantly, know yourself. Don't doubt yourself. You are more powerful than you know. A lot of these things are hidden from you. From the moment you're born, the true essence of what we are and why we exist is never in the forefront of us. You're indoctrinated with all the things that you see around you. And for lack of a better term, most people become drones. They assimilate into this culture, they assimilate into this society, and they move about just like a robot would. But deep down inside, when they're laying in the bed at night, and they're lonely or unhappy or depressed or filled with anxiety and all these other emotions, and the doctors prescribe you all these different pills to somehow keep you balanced, listen to me. There's nothing that's going on in your life that you can't change. It's coming from you. Life is happening to you and through you and for you. Life is not against you. I hope it helps. I hope it encourages you. Listen, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, keep pushing it. I love it. We need it. We want to get the word out. Life is still worth living. You are still worth saving, believe it or not. Your life is not over. Believe in yourself and know that you can do it. I'm Mr. J. I hope this helps. Have a blessed day. Peace.